Rashtriya Swatantra Party has been victorious in the by-election for the House of Representatives in Tano Electoral Constituency 1. Wagle claimed victory by a margin of almost 15,000 votes from his nearest contender, Govinda Bhattrai of Nepali Congress. Vote counting of the by-election at the District Coordination Committee of Damoli ended at around 3 a.m. early this morning, according to which Wagle bagged 34,918 votes to claim victory. His nearest rival, Govinda Bhattrai of Nepali Congress, finished second, securing 20,122 votes, while Sarvendra Khanal of CPN-UML came in third with 8,488 votes. The votes received by Wagle is almost 10,000 more than that of Nepali Congress's Ramchandra Paudel, who secured victory in the constituency in the November 20 parliamentary election last year. Tano 1, which had been considered a strong hold of Nepali Congress since the past 3 decades, has now welcomed Rashtriya Swatantra Party into the constituency by electing Wagle. Although the vote counting in Tano 1 had ended early this morning, the Office of the Election Officer organized an official program this morning and handed Wagle the certificate of victory. After his victory, Wagle has stated that he will hold people's mandate at highest esteem. According to the District Election Office, a total of 65,298 votes were recorded in Tano Electoral Constituency 1 in Sunday's by-election. Dr. Swarnim Wagle of Rashtriya Swatantra Party, elected from the by-election in Tano Electoral Constituency 1, is an economist. Wagle holds a PhD in economics from the Australia National University and a master's degree in international development from Harvard University. He has served 2 terms as a member of the National Planning Commission and 1 term as the Commission's vice chairperson. Wagle, born in Bunkot, Gorkha, has represented Nepal at national and international forums on various occasions. Wagle, discontent with Nepali Congress, had parted ways with the party and registered his candidacy in Tano 1 as a candidate from Rashtriya Swatantra Party. Although Nepali Congress had looked at Wagle as a future finance minister of the country, he decided to quit Nepali Congress after he was not given the opportunity. Wagle defeated 8 other candidates, including ruling alliance candidate Govinda Bhattrai of Nepali Congress and Sarvendra Khanal of CPN-UML, to claim victory in Tano 1. Wagle, having the experience of working at the National Planning Commission and working at the policy forming level in Nepali Congress, now will have the opportunity to exhibit his experience at the parliament. Lawmaker Wagle will now have the responsibility to improve the economy of the country, which is going through crisis at the moment. Meanwhile, Rashtriya Swatantra Party chairperson Ravi Lamichhane has secured his victory in the by-election in Chitwan Electoral Constituency 2. Lamichhane enjoys a lead of more than 32,000 votes from his nearest contender. As per a recent update on the vote counting in Chitwan 2, Lamichhane is in the lead with 40,864 votes. His nearest contender, Jeet Narayan Shrestha of Nepali Congress, is way behind him with 9,165 votes. CPN-UML's Ramprasad Neopani is in third position with 8,877 votes. Lamichhane had claimed a landslide victory from the same constituency in the November 20 parliamentary election last year. Meanwhile, in Bara 2, Upendra Yadav of Janata Samajwadi Party is leading with 12,848 votes. Shiva Chandra Kushwaha of Janmat Party is second with 8,848 votes. CPN-UML's Purushottam Paudel is in the third place with 4,516 votes, while Ramesh Khanal of Rashtriya Swatantra Party is in the 4th spot. Rashtriya Swatantra Party chair Ravi Lamichhane has announced of withdrawing their party's support to the government. Rashtriya Swatantra Party chair Ravi Lamichhane, talking to media persons at the vote counting center in Chitwan, announced of his party's decision to withdraw support extended to the government. Lamichhane said that the government's lackluster approach towards corruption control has forced the party to take the decision. Lamichhane also criticized the parliamentary committees, citing lack of representation in the committees. We now have our colleague Amar Singh Pradhan with some updates about the by-election.
Good morning, viewers. I'm Amar Singh Pradhan and I'm here with some more live updates of this by-election 2023. As my colleague was reporting earlier that Swarnim Wagle has already clinched Tanoh 1. Ravi Lamichhane, the RSP chair, has almost ensured a victory in Chitwan 2 and in Bara 2. Upendra Yadav, JSP candidate and Alliance candidate Upendra Yadav is in the lead. And as this by-election euphoria reaches its climax, let's see how our technology helps for the convenience of our audience. Let's first of all move to Tanoh Constituency 1, from where Swarnim Wagle has clinched his lawmaker position. Swarnim Wagle garnered 34,919 votes. The Rashtriya Swatantra Party candidate Swarnim Wagle, the overwhelming winner. He defeated his nearest rival Govinda Bhattrai of Nepali Congress by about 14,000 votes. Nepali Congress candidate Govinda Bhattrai could only collect 20,122 votes, while in the third position was CPNUML candidate former Inspector General of Police Sarvendra Khanal, who secured 8,488 votes. Several factors, according to analysts, several factors seem to have worked in favor of Swarnim Wagle in Tanoh. Otherwise, Tanoh, as we can see from the past election, November 20th election, Tanoh happens to be a Nepali Congress bastion or stronghold where Ramchandra Paudel, the present president, had won with 25,361 votes. And there was also this rebel candidate, Govindara Joshi. He had also garnered 6,886 votes. So what we have seen in the past is that Tanoh happens to be a stronghold of Nepali Congress. But this time around, people in Tanoh, they have voted overwhelmingly for Rashtriya Swatantra Party candidate Swarnim Wagle. So this voting trend also hints at, the voting trend also indicates that people in Tanoh, they have favored change and voted to Swarnim Wagle. He has been overwhelmed. He has been an overwhelming winner with the vote count of 34,919 votes. And as my colleague was informing earlier, that Swarnim Wagle has already bagged his winner's certificate, and he is now a lawmaker of the House of Representatives. And from Tanoh, let's move on to, let's see the scenario in Chitwan, what's happening there. In Chitwan Constituency 2, we see there has been a slight update from what my colleague was reporting earlier on. Ravi Lamichhane has crossed the 50,000 voting landmark. Now he is in a massive lead with 50,079 votes. I would instantly like to compare this this collection of votes, the number of votes that Ravi Lamichhane has garnered. In the November 20th election, he had garnered 49,264 votes. Now he has already crossed 50,079 votes, and as our vote counting reaches towards its conclusion, there is likely to be more votes collected by Ravi Lamichhane. And in the run-up to the Bible election, the voters or the analysts, they had this mindset that the number of votes collected by Ravi Lamichhane will actually reveal his popularity, whether his popularity has gone down in this 5 months of volatile period that Ravi Lamichhane saw in his political career, or this 5 months period his popularity has shot up. So what we see here is that the people in Chitwan, they have once again voted overwhelmingly for Ravi Lamichhane, and he has already crossed this voting landmark of 50,000 votes. And we see that his nearest rival, Nepali Congress and Alliance candidate Jit Narayan Shrestha, just has 9,165 votes under his belt. Likewise, Ram Prasad Neupane, CPNUML candidate, in the third position, he has got 8,800 77 votes. And once again in the run-up to the by-election, it was expected that Nepali Congress this time around, because Jitnarayan Shrestha happens to be a local cadre of Chitwan, the district president of Chitwan, and he was expected to give a tough fight to Ravi Lamichhane, and as our voting results show, that has not materialized at the moment. And let's move on to, from Chitwan, let's move on to Bara, the third constituency where the by-election is taking place, Bara constituency 2. And we see here that Janata Samajwadi Party, the alliance candidate, he has collected, Upendra Yadav has collected 12,848 votes against the second placed Sibachandra Kusuwa of Janmat Party, who has 8,488 votes. And in the third position is Purushottam Paudel of CPNUML, the former minister. He has got 4,516 votes under his belt. And likewise, Ramesh Kharwal, the former DIG from Rashtriya Swadhyam Party, contesting from Rashtriya Swadhyam Party, he has 1,991 votes. I'd like to show this a scenario from our past election, November 20th parliamentary election, where we see that the present Vice President Ram Sahab Prasad Yadav, he was the eventual winner with 13,822 votes, and he had defeated the second placed Sibachandra Kusuwa, representing CPN Maoist at the time, who had garnered 13,468 votes, and this was a difference of around about 300 odd votes. It was a very tightly contested election at the time. And I would also like to show the two independent candidates who had done very well at the time, 11,000 plus votes for Ramkishore Yadav, and Rabindra Yadav had 10,750 votes. The two independent candidates who did very well during the November election, and this time around, both of them are not contesting the election, interestingly. And Sibachandra Prasad Kusuwa, he parted his ways when he did get the election ticket for the by-election. He parted his ways with the Maoist, CPN Maoist, and then he had joined hands with Janmat Party, and he was expected to give a tight fight to, or a close fight to the alliance candidate, Janata Samajwadi Party candidate, Upendra Yadav. And looking at this 4,000 plus vote difference, and this is going to be a massive, decisive vote difference as far as Bara 2 constituency is concerned, because as we saw in the past election, the election was very tight, and 4,000, the difference of 4,000 votes means that this is a massive lead, a massive advantage that Upendra Yadav enjoys over his nearest rival, Sibachandra Prasad Kusuwa. And with this, this is all that I have, and we will be updating our viewers about the election news, the election reports. This is all from my side. Over to you over there.
Thank you, Amar. That was our colleague Amar Singh Pradhan giving us some updates on the by-election. We'll now take a short break here. We have more news coming up.
शिवम सिमेन्ट भरोसा अटुट सम्बन्धको
जगदम्बा सुपर साइन तथा ग्याल्वा प्लस जस्ता पाता जीवन भरको भरोसा
Berger Silk, breathe easy. It's glamorous and also protects walls of my home from bacteria, viruses and pollution.
Berger Paints, the most trusted paint in Nepal. घाम पानीको लुकामारी, खुशीका हरेक क्षणको तयारी, PU र सिलिकन प्रविधियुक्त बर्जर वेदरकोट लङ लाइफ। घाम पानी छेक्छ, 10 वर्ष टिक्छ।
एकैछिन ल, सुन्नुस् न, यो भन्दा फिजी कुनै छ? ब्रो, यो ट्राई गरेको छौ? या, हामी पनि यही पिउँछौं। त्यही त दिएको थियो नि। हर घुटमा अझ बढी फीज, अझ बढी स्वैग।
टाढाबाट त अनुहार स्पटलेस ग्लोइङ देख्न सजिलो छ, तर नजिकबाट अनुहारमा डार्क स्पट्स र डार्क सर्कल्सहरू देखिहाल्छ। पन्ड्स ब्राइट ब्युटी प्रो भिटामिन B3A+ फर्मुला घटाउँछ डार्क स्पट्स र डार्क सर्कल्सहरू र दिन्छ स्पटलेस ग्लो। पाउनुहोस् स्पटलेस ग्लो नजिकबाट पनि। पन्ड्स ब्राइट ब्युटी।
Start. Ma'am, start.
Sting Energy Drink now in Nepal.
मेहनत खाना बनाउनमा लगाउनुहोस्, जमेको चिल्लो हटाउनमा होइन।
ल्याउनुहोस् नयाँ मिस्टर मसल किचन क्लिनर। तेल, बेसार, मसला जस्तो हरेक किसिमको दागलाई 10 गुणा राम्ररी सफा गर्छ। सबै ठाउँबाट मिस्टर मसल किचन क्लिनर। क्लिनिङ दमदार, किचन शानदार।
मेरो ग्लो हो मेरो पावर, यसैले म गर्छु मेरो ग्लोको पावर अप हरेक दिन। नयाँ लक्सको साथ ज्यास्मिनको सुगन्ध र बदामको तेलयुक्त चम्किलो त्वचाको लागि लक्स।
नेपाल भरमै सबैभन्दा जेकै लोहा छड उत्पादन कम्पनी
अम्बे स्टिल्स
ज्या बढन्छ टिकाउ बढन्छ।
शिवम सिमेन्ट भरोसा अटुट सम्बन्धको।
Welcome back. An aircraft of Fly Dubai suffered fire in one of its engines while taking off from Kathmandu last night, heading to Dubai. It has been speculated that the left engine of the aircraft caught on fire after hitting a bird. One of the two engines of the Fly Dubai FZ-576 aircraft carrying 168 passengers and 7 crew members caught on fire right after it took off from the Trivandrum International Airport last night at 9:21 p.m. Fly Dubai has stated that the left engine of the aircraft caught on fire after hitting a bird. A dead bird was found on the runway of the airport during inspection early this morning before the operation of flights. Airport authorities have also speculated that the engine of Fly Dubai aircraft could have caught on fire due to the impact of the bird. After the fire in the left engine extinguished and the other engine was operating smoothly, the pilot of Fly Dubai continued the flight towards its destination Dubai without returning to Kathmandu. Danger was averted and the aircraft landed at Dubai International Airport at 11 minutes past midnight last night. Investors have not been receiving expected returns from the further public offerings or FPOs issued by companies to increase their capital. Returns from these FPOs have become lesser than the interest rates offered by banks. Of the 13 companies that had not issued their FPOs in the past 7 years, returns of 8 are less than 10%. Price of FPOs issued when the share market index NEPSE was at a high has reduced. In addition to that, companies that had issued the FPOs have not even shared the profits. Of the companies issuing the FPOs, annual returns of 8 are less than 10%. The FPOs are issued at a price additional than the premium of 100 rupees. Such a price is set by considering the market value of the company and annual profits. When the share market is on a downfall, the returns of FPOs are lesser than the interest rates offered by banks on fixed deposits. Standard Chartered Bank, which has foreign investment, had issued its FPO at 1,200 rupees back in 2017. In the 7 years, the rate of return was only 0.54%. In relative comparison, banks offer 10% interest in fixed deposits. The FPO of Nepal Investment, issued in 2016 at 601 rupees, has a return rate of 0.56%. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse, brought to you by Prabhu Bank, reason for your success. Kathmandu Euroschool, Gangabo Banyatar, Kathmandu. Valley Public High School, Sundarbasti, Buranilkantha. Global College International, Meet Manisore, Kathmandu. Sundarta ka lagi Rose Face Soap.
Here's the question. What should be done to protect those leaving for foreign employment from being scammed? Your options are A, intensify regulation, B, take actions based on grievances, and C, increase awareness. The voting is on. Type in EWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the international update. Two explosions in a counter-terrorism ammunition depot in northwest Pakistan killed at least 13 people and wounded over 50 yesterday. Provincial Police Chief Akhtar Hayat said the explosions rocked the counter-terrorism office in northwestern Swat Valley, which was previously long controlled by Islamist militants before they were flushed out in a military operation in 2009. Pakistani police and military have a significant presence of their counter-terrorism staff in the valley, which has been prone to the insurgency. Hayat said most of those killed in the blasts were police counter-terrorism officers, adding that a woman and her child who were passing by the building were also killed. We have more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break.
Shivam Cement, Bharosa, Atut Sambandhako.
जगदम्बा सुपर साइन तथा ग्याल्वा प्लस जस्ता पाता जीवन भरको भरोसा।
हेर आइसक्यो एउटा अर्को दिन नयाँ जाऊ आज हामी पनि गरिदेऊ केही नयाँ द अल न्यू ह्यापी फेस फील द फेस
मेरो ग्लो हो मेरो पावर यसैले म गर्छु मेरो ग्लो को पावर अप हरेक दिन नयाँ लक्स को साथ जैस्मिन को सुगन्ध र बदाम को तेल युक्त चम्किलो त्वचाको लागि Lux.
I had exactly sitting there. It was like being 7 years old.
Face, you're real facing. Real taste of chilling and the real feeling. Real goodness go feeling within. Yeah. Real fruitness go spinning within. Refreshing, cool and full of fun. Fruit and face, come on down to Junta. Eye open and such amazing. Real feels and heartache the cheese. Face, oh, you're real tasting. Real goodness of feeling within.
चिसो मात्र होइन अब आयो रियल फ्रुट्स को गुडनेस भएको रिफ्रेशिङ एप्पल मसाला कोला र निम्बु फिजन रियल फिजन फ्रुट एन्ड फिश को रिफ्रेशिङ फिलिङ
कपाल झरेर दिक्क हुनुहुन्छ प्रस्तुत छ प्याराशुट नेचुराले अनियन हेयर फल कन्ट्रोल स्याम्पू यो प्याज र नरिवलको मिल्क प्रोटिनको शक्तिले बनेको छ त्यसले कपाललाई पोषण दिन्छ र कपाल झर्न कम गर्छ केमिकल्सलाई भनौ नो नेचुरालेलाई भनौ यस
हेर आइसक्यो एउटा अर्को दिन नयाँ जाऊ आज हामी पनि गरिदेऊ केही नयाँ द अल न्यू ह्यापी फेस फील द फेस
नेपालमै पहिलो पटक बनेको हिलटेक कोर फिट पाइप ढल तथा जल निकासका लागि बलियो सजिलै जडान गर्न सकिने पाइप यो पाइप MP3 ह्युम पाइपको विकल्पमा छ RCC पाइप भन्दा 95% हलुका र लामो पाइप हिलटेक कोर फिट पाइप भोलिको प्रविधि आजै छ हातमा ढुक्क रहौ हिलटेक छ साथमा थप जानकारीको लागि सम्पर्क गर्नुहोस्
एकैछिन ल सुन्नुस् न यो भन्दा फिजी कुनै छ ब्रो यो ट्राई गरेको छौ या हामी पनि यही पिउँछौं त्यही त दिएको थियो नि हर घुटमा अझ बढी फीज अझ बढी स्वैग
प्याराशुट एडभान्स्ड बेस्ट रोज्नेहरूका लागि यो 3 तहसम्म गई कपाललाई बनाउँछ भित्रैबाट बलियो चम्किलो र सुन्दर प्याराशुट एडभान्स्ड मेरो लागि बेस्ट
नेपाल भरमै सबै भन्ना जेकै लोहा छड उत्पादन कम्पनी अम्बे स्टिल्स ज्या बढन्छ टिकाउ बढन्छ
शिवम सिमेन्ट भरोसा अटुट सम्बन्धको
स्पोर्ट्स न्यूज ब्रॉट टू यू बाय Lakshmi Steel, Nepal may guaranteed #1 quality.
Men's Premier Cup today. Malaysia are taking on Qatar in a Group A match, while Kuwait are pitted against Singapore in a Group B encounter. The Group A match between Malaysia and Qatar is being played at Mulpani Cricket Ground. Both Malaysia and Qatar have already crashed out of the tournament. The toss has not taken place at Mulpani due to wet outfield. Nepal have already qualified from Group A, while the match between Oman and Saudi Arabia will clinch the place of the second team that qualifies for the semi-final. Meanwhile, Kuwait and Singapore are playing in Kantipur ground, where Kuwait have a chance of progressing to the semi-final. Kuwait won the toss and invited Singapore to bat first. Amartya Kaul has top scored for Singapore with 45 runs. Despite consolidating after the loss of early wickets, Singapore again lost a flurry of wickets to be reduced to 5 for 86 in the 23rd over. Singapore have been bowled out for 113 runs in 31.4 overs. Mohammad Aslam was the most successful bowler with 5 wickets, while Shiraz Khan picked up 3 wickets. New Zealand defeated Pakistan by 6 wickets in the 5th and final T20 match to level the 5-match series at 2-all. In the match played at Rawalpindi, New Zealand elected to field first as Pakistan posted a challenging score of 193 runs